Okay, guys, here we go. Twitch say hi to YouTube. YouTube say hi to Twitch. You already know what this is. Round 11, right? This is another video. Okay. So this is today's round. Actually, well, yesterday's round. It's now 12:16 a.m. July 1st, but the round was actually June 30th. So very, very fresh round still. But we are looking at this is round 11. So actually, let's look at the first game here, which is Duda and Timur Rajabov. Honestly, I did commentary on this game, and you know what? This game was so boring that I don't even remember it. Bruh. I'm not even kidding you right now. I was like, I forgot they played today. I remember the other ones, but I just don't remember their game at all. Like, it just didn't feel like anything. And I think it's just because it was a very quiet game, right? And this is more of the Hikaru stuff that you'll see in Blitz. In fact, I actually like these from White. I actually like the positions that White gets from here. But I think the D4 was a little bit too early, right? I mean, you can play it, but you know, I think it's a little early. And you keep the flexibility. That's what this is about. You got the double bishops. And you keep the flexibility. But okay, D4, bishop B7, castles, C5, and then we take. And now, I mean, okay, you got the bishop aiming, but the bishop. And sometimes you want this one to be this way, but it depends. Knight B to D2, knight F6, A3, right? We want to play B4. I actually saw this idea with me and Bot commentate. Now I remember most of this game, or a lot of it, was Queen C2 and Rook to D1. I think we even pointed out too. There was a cool line that after H6, there was this, well, maybe not here. Instead of, there was something me and Bach looked at, something like this with Knight G5. It was like a crazy type of tactic here. But I think that's before the A pawn was pushed. Before A5 was there. So like, you know, I don't know, Knight D7, maybe? No, I forgot what the move was. Knight C6, Queen C2, H6. No, but this is it doesn't work. It's strange here. But Bach showed this cool tactic, bro. That was sweet with H6, Knight G5, and highlighting the bishop here. My idea though is Queen C2, Rook D1, and I'm just gonna be annoying. Maybe put the knight here, move this knight here, and eventually even play like a G4. Put the queen on C3 as well. Put some pressure on this diagonal. A5, knight to C4. I'm not a fan because they're just trading. Like, you can trade queens, but he said, no, I'm good. I don't want to trade. Then he's like, all right, cool. Trade everything off the board then, Rajabov says. And then we just trading, B5, trading. Like, wow. You know, this about to be a draw. For sure. I mean, look at everything here. They all move 17. And, I mean, symmetrical pawn structure, same pieces. This is going to be a draw. I think we came to this game probably like 3-4 times the whole time. Like, that was it. That was it. But let's fast forward, right, just to see if anything happened. And honestly, nothing happened. We got pawns on the same side. Of course, you're going to play this boy out. And then they traded the rooks off and then shuffled rooks. And that's a draw. Very, very exciting, right? Okay, next game. So this one was Hikaru's game, actually, which was a sort of similar. In fact, I think this one right here was more of the, for me, the grind. I like the grind, and I think it's inspiring to see the grind. And that's what this one portrays to me, is the grind. And when you see the grind and you understand the grind, like, you can also do the grind yourself, and you can learn and do it in your own games. Especially, I mean, I know if I'm ever faced like this, I'll be able to grind how Hikaru did, regardless of the result. But in a way, it's just very inspiring to see the grind. So let's see what happened, right? E4, C5. Knight F3, Knight C6, D4 takes, Knight F6, right? We got the Sveshnikov, right? Sveshnikov Sicilian here, Knight C3, E5, Knight B to D5, D6, and Bishop G5. So Bishop G5 is cool. You also have, I think, a Knight D5 line. I think this is a line. This is a line that one of my, actually some of my files actually have some Knight D5 lines that they prefer now. But Bishop G5 I used to play. It's very sharp. And I like to play this against the Knight Orf. The Bishop G5. Bishop G5, A6. Knight A3, all theory. B5, knight to D5, steal theory. Bishop E7, take. Or you could also take with the pawn as well, but I mean, taking with the pawn is worse. Bishop takes is the natural move. C3 with the idea of bringing the knight around this way. They probably has some nice games with putting the knight on B4, positionally winning, and then taking and playing, like, you know, the other knight to D5. Many cases, but this one also can go to E3. Bishop E2, you try to actually get rid of the light square bishop and put another knight on F5, or keep this knight on D5. Lots of play for both sides, but honestly, I've always had success from the black side of this, to be honest. Not the white side. I haven't had it as much either, but definitely having more success with the black side and more favored it because I'm a Sicilian player, right? So Hikaru wouldn't quit. He kept trying that grind. It was a great lesson, really. It is. It's an excellent lesson. I mean, of course, you see it from Magnus trying to squeeze water from a stone, right? In his end games, winning. In fact, I may even mention this in commentary. Magnus won a game where it was king versus king, right? Imagine this. King versus king on the same side. I'm going to highlight the pieces, right? King and 3 pawns and a rook. King, 3 pawns, and a rook. Same side of the board. And Magnus somehow wins the game. Right, so it's a grind, right? It's a grind. I saw that in this game from Hikaru today. Knight to c2, bishop g5, which is very playable. And what you do here is like, obviously you put the bishop on a nice diagonal. You also play stuff like bishop h6, g6, and bishop g7. I'm gonna flip it here. I used to play these positions. So g6, you're gonna castle. What up, Spinny? Thanks for the raid. Big Spinny. Oh, yo. We're looking at round 11 right now. Spinny, what up, bro? What's good? Thanks for the rate. So what you play is like castles, bishop h6, g6, bishop g7. You also play f5, and there's an h4 line too. And you play a5 because you have to stop knight b4. Because if they get this in, it's kind of annoying. I think when you play a5, they play like a4, or there are some a4 lines that you have to take. There's a lot of theory involved. I mean, every opening has a lot of theory involved, but definitely a4 you take, and then you don't take on b2. I forgot. I think you play a5. There's just so much theory, guys. I remember playing this from the black side. But yeah. Oh, which games did we cover already? Says Jingo. We looked at the Duda game. This is the second one. We looked at Duda Rajabov because that was a draw. So we wanted to like go in order of like how good the games were. So like Rajabov and Duda, I forgot that they played because it was a draw. Like I forgot they even played. But then when we got in there, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that, and then draw. So this one here though is now the second in terms of like excitement. So this one here, I think I learned the most from this game. Obviously, I do like Hikaru is actually one of my favorite players, Hikaru and Hans, to be honest, right now. So, but definitely the grind here was nice. So G3 with the intention. You could play H4 too as well. Me and Bach talked about this. We do like the H4 push. I think usually after castling though is a little bit better. Okay, G3 castles and bishop to G2. Very nice with h4 ideas. But I think Bach even pointed out he wanted this. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is a nice way to play. I'm not the biggest fan of trading because I don't like my rook on h3. But I thought it was an excellent plan. Bishop g2, though, is like not challenging. It's just super equal for both sides. a5, I think, was great. Maybe he should have played knight b4, but this is not the right time for that, right? Yeah, it's not the right time. Also in post game, Hikaru said he was not. What did he say? He was not like prepared for the Sveshnikov here, which is what we have. TJC, what's up, man? Thanks for the follow. Oh, thank you, Mernster, for the hydrate. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Okay, so after the castles, bishop to g2, a5, stopping knight to b4, castles and knight e7. This usually happens. Let's flip the board. Why this happens? Oh, snap. We got another raid. Let's go. We get the raids. The raids. Yo, thank you. JB. J Bizzle. John Bartholomew. What's up, bro? What's good? John B. My guy. What's up, bro? How are you, man? We doing round 11 right now. JB. Thanks for the raid. What up, man? Hope you had a great stream. John Bartholomew. We're looking at round 11 right now, and we're looking at Richard Report Hikaru game. Thanks for following Morphe's Law. What's up? What's going on? I remember playing this from the Black's point of view. With 97 and you take a lot, and like I'm actually honestly always fine. What up, JB? JB in the building, y'all. Make sure y'all follow John if y'all haven't. So 97, right? 97 when knight takes d5. And I can put the bishop on e6. Black's just fine though. So, bro, do you think Hikaru will come out swinging tomorrow? We were debating in chat. I think that he will. John Bartholomew asks, guys, do you think Hikaru will come out swinging tomorrow? Absolutely. Because if Hikaru has a chance, right? Imagine if Hikaru win the next 3 games in a row. What would happen, right? Like think about that. If he win the next 3 games in a row, I mean, that's a lot of pressure on everybody. But of course, it is a lot. So I think he is going to come out swinging tomorrow. And I think he has Rajabov with white. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't know where the pairings are, but I don't know who he got, but whoever I got, it don't matter. I'm about to come out swinging on you, my guy. You better duck. You better know how to duck. Lipton Grunt, thanks for the follow. Right, Nepo with black. Oh, snap. Oh, wait a second.
Bruh.
Hold on, my guy. He got Nepo with black tomorrow. Okay, all right, Berlin, like, shoot, Berlin, but dang, that's gonna be tough. He probably expecting that. I feel like I'm Hikaru right now. Yeah, he probably expecting my Berlin. Hold on, let me think about that. He probably know my Berlin. Let me play so I don't know what he gonna play. We were debating how much risk he gonna take in the opening. Will be interesting to see. It is gonna be interesting because Jan been beating up the risk lately. I mean, you take risk, and he about to hit you with his fist, right? So that's just how it's been. So you gotta be careful out here. Nepo with black, and the other sure, yeah. So after 97, right, 97 here, which is the move from Rich Report. Honestly, when I saw 97, I started thinking to myself, yeah, this is, of course, it's still theory wise, but I know from these positions from the black side, black's totally fine, which means this could probably be a draw. Which honestly, that's exactly what happened. This game, 93, bishop e6. We really never got a chance to do anything. What's up, champ? 12 months, bro. Full year. Shout out to you, bro. Naka should go all in. Thanks for the full year, bro. 1 year, my guy. Queen to d8. I actually thought it was supposed to be bishop takes. Wait, no, there was something else. No, this is right. This was all right. This was all right. What's up, Hammy? It was good. Knight f5, though, this is a nice move. I mean, it's just like, opening the bishop up and I have some prospects. D5 square is always mine. Whatever. Captain Coconut, thanks for the follow. Queen to d8, queen takes d6. G6 is a sweet move. And I think the problem here is that if you have, we looked at this, queen takes, rook takes. And if you do knight e3, I mean, you're just looking crazy. Like, I mean, I can go rook d2. I can go bishop takes e3 for, like, why on earth? Now, of course, maybe you're okay after rook f2. But so we reverse the move order. But, like, why would you allow this? You know what I mean? Like, this, you need to be very careful here. Now, of course, this actually is playable. Very playable, but it takes a lot of accuracy. But in fact, h4 was played, which I like this. Little in-between move, right? And then bishop f6 and knight e3. Now it's different because there is no bishop takes e3. Beautiful from Hikaru. Rook to d2. If you move this rook, right, bishop takes a2 is going to lose. Lose a pawn. You get it back, though. You can go this way. For instance, just real quick, take. You get it back. Bishop takes and then rook a1. Like, you may even have slight initiative, but not enough to say that you're winning. And even with these, the pawns like this, like you got the bishop pair, nothing's happening. What's up, Mikey? Kind of Coconut was good. What's up? Nothing's happening, bro. Nothing's happening. But okay, refresh. All right, refresh. So h4, bishop f6, knight e3, rook d2, b3, a4. I thought this was pretty good from a Rich Report, bullying the pawns here, saying, do something, bro. Rook d1, which he does. Take. Rook b1. And then I think we have rook b4 afterwards, but we're attacking the bishop. And we also have bishop f1. Yeah, this was played today, LJ. What's up, bro? The bishop a2 and rook b2, which I think is just whatever. I mean, like, okay, bishop a2, like, okay, right? Okay, bishop e6 and bishop f3. Bishop f1 was also a move as well. But bishop f3, the idea here is bishop to g4. If we trade the bishops off, we may have some chances. And this is where the grind starts. After bishop e7, bishop g4, takes, and this is where the grind started. From here, I mean, this is objectively a drawn game with perfect play, accurate play. Let's just say, you're not perfect, obviously, but accurate play. Accurate play, playing pretty accurate best moves or close. Maybe even move number 2 in certain cases. You're able to draw this with white and black, right? But the grind here, this game went another 60 moves from right now, chat. 60 moves, right? And then we'll move 31. And then it went another 60 from here. So that's a whole nother game. You know what I mean? Like, he really grinded this boy out, right? And of course, if we look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they got the same amount of pawns. Same amount of pawns, right? So I'm telling you right now, look, you have a lot of in-game work to do. You have a lot of grinding in your games to do, right? Because this is something to look up to. Even though this is a draw, you can shake hands right here. But he wanted to do more than that. So it's good to see that. It's very inspiring, right? B4 takes, and it gives you the Magnus feel in a way. First off, I thought that he did like an over-the-board mouse slip in a way. It was kind of funny. Rook b5. Bruh. I was like, bro, wait, hold up. Like, Yo, I mean, you know, this is over the board, right? So when he played Rook B5, because we're all expecting Rook B4, like take the pawn. So I'm like, yo, did he just like miss? Did he forgot? He slipped. It must have slipped when he hit the clock or something. Like, what is this? Rook B5, same thing, right? But okay, Rook B5. He wanted to do this first, I think, and then maybe play H5 and then take the pawn because he doesn't want knight takes C5. Understandable. No, it wasn't no DGT moment. No, the problem here is after takes, knight takes c5, and he just didn't want to give up this extra pawn, which this is drawn to as well. But he did it this way, right? Rook here, and then h5. It's funny. I know. Okay. Takes. So he did it this way, but he's still ended up giving up the pawn, and now you have this situation here where it's knight and bishop, bishop and 2 versus knight and 3 on the same side. Same side. Knight to d3. This man grinded this boy out. Right now, guys, I mean, how many moves? It was 90 what? it's still, so okay, right now, we're almost 30, so actually, I was off by a few moves. We're almost 37, and the game went to move 98, guys. 98 from right here! Right here! How do you do that? It went another 60 moves from right here, bro. 61 moves. That is insane. That's nuts. And you thought that you were playing long games. You thought that you were doing your end games. You know what I'm saying? This was a very long game. So f3, right? He plays f3, king f7, king g2, king f6. Now the goal here, of course, is we're not about to sit here and look at and analyze every single move and like. There's what we're going to talk about right here is the idea. Right here, go back. Let's go back a few moves. Right here, what we want to do ideally is we want to, Dvoretsky in-game manual talks about this. Shout out to Dvoretsky, that's my uncle Dvoretsky, right? Because I study so much of this stuff, right? But Dvoretsky in-game manual talks about the reserve tempi, which I was saying this in Icaro's stream too. The reserve tempi, right? So I think what reserve tempi means is reserving, basically, I can play f3 whenever I want to. I can play f4 whenever I want to. But when I play it, it is actually played. So this is why pawns are very important. Pawns are very important, so you have to remember, when I push it, I can't go backwards. So I think, actually, me and Bach talked about this before, f3 was correct, but then king g2, g4 was actually incorrect. G4 was slightly inaccurate, Now, of course, there you can play, honestly, anything, really, king f2, king h3. You can play all these moves here, but I think in terms of understanding reserve tempi, right, and etc. G4 is like slightly inaccurate because you can play this at any time. You can play this almost at any time here. But of course, what else do we have here? So objectively speaking, G4 is a great move because like, what else are you gonna do? Like, I mean, none of the other moves actually even do anything. And like, I could play G4. I could play all of them are all the same. All of them are all the same, right? So G4 after he plays G4. But I mean, I think I just want you to understand the reserve tempi, and when you do have them, pawns don't go backwards. So G4, bishop to D4, king G3. Okay, bishop to E3, and I think this was brilliant because he just stays on the diagonal. But this just was a draw. Oops, sorry. Let's go back to like move 40 something because that's where we were. And as you see here, guys, nothing happened. I'm just gonna fast forward. Nothing happened. They shuffled. And he tried, and then finally, right, capture. So now, and this is the only way that you can probably try for a win. But the problem is the king needs to be placed up here, which is very hard to get across that. And then when the king is on f6, we have king g5 at the right moment, or king e5, which you have to hold with the king. The knight can't hold both the pawns unless it's on f2, which at some point, the knight gets to f2. Right, boom, look at that. Knight gets to f2, but check this out. The bishop can attack the knight. So if you try to move the king somewhere, ideally, like, oh, get the king here. Oh, that's cute. As soon as you get the king over here, I'm going to play king g5. And then I'm going to put this bishop on d6. And I'm going to hit this knight. When you move the knight, I'm going to take the pawn. It's a draw no matter what. So bishop d6, he moves the knight around some more. They keep flying that boy around. And look at that, right? King g5, you got to stay around the pawn. You have to stay around. You can't push this. You're not going to be able to, in fact, which he ended up doing later. But still, that's going to just be an automatic draw, as we'll see in the game later. King f6, knight e1, bishop d6, knight c2, right? It's like, just shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling, bro. And then finally, right here, king h3, bishop d6, he plays e5, finally. And then bishop c7, king g3, bishop b8, king f3. Yep. And when he took this pawn, I was like, oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's a draw. Oh yeah, that's it for real. Spawn. Oh, actually, sorry. When he went king e4, I was like, yeah, that's a draw. Kind of knew that was gonna happen. I think the last part that was kind of funny about this game is right here. Like, did you see that, bro? After knight takes, he plays, and you thinking just knight g6. He plays knight d5. Bruh. Oh man, I was laughing. I was like, bro, is there some type of mate? Like, what are you hoping for some type of knight king in pawn mate? Now, of course, if the pawn's in the corner, then okay, yeah, we gonna play this out a few moves, see what you do, just to see if you know what you're doing. But here on the G file, bro, that was just too funny to me. I thought it was a very, very troll move, which was pretty awesome, right? I thought that was pretty fun. So, okay, we looked at Rajabov game, we looked at Hikaru games, those were draws. This one right here was Ding Liren versus Fabi. By the way, Ding Liren is on a tear right now. That man going crazy. He won 3 in a row, taking down Fabi in this game. Let's see it. E4, E5, right? Some more E5 action, which has helped serve him well. He won with E5 against Richard Rapport as well. So bishop to B3, chaos was A4, bishop B7, and D3, D6, right? It's all theory here. Now, Queen D7, I'm not even going to lie. I've never seen this. I mean, maybe it's just it feels like, yeah, this is right. Sorry, not Italian game. Yeah, this is right. But there's many Italian games that look like this too, which is sometimes the theory is very, very close together. There's Italian games that I've studied recently that look very similar to this, even though this came from a Roy. Interesting. But D6, bishop to D2, Queen D7. Again, that is a move that I'm not familiar with. It is natural though. Queen D7, and it just connects to rooks. Knight C3 and knight to A5, attacking the bishop pair. Oh yeah, I remember this game. Let me flip. I actually thought Fabi was doing great here. Bishop A2, and I was like, yo, this is sweet. You got the long diagonal. Obviously, you have this a lot in Roy Lopez's. But let's move on. Let me show you. B4, right? Knight E2. He goes C5. We swing the knight around like this. Good. We already know this. Then he played rook A to B8, and I saw knight H4, and I immediately was like, oh, this is Fabi game. Bruh. Oh, this Fabi day, right? Like, oh, this nice because I can feel the attack here. Queen F3, knight F5, bishop G5, bishop H6. Watch this, right? G6, bishop H6, rook F8, and you thought you saw something. And I was like, wait a second, can he just go? Oh, he can just go knight F5. Oh, he can. Oh, I can, big fella. Oh, I can. Wow. And I was like, yo, Fabi's winning this game. Like, immediately, I was like, oh, Fabi's winning. Like, come on, bro. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like, you play this and you lose. It's tough. Look at this position, right? Knight F5. It's beautiful. And just like, it's nothing. It's nothing. Literally nothing. Idea, right? Let's see. Pawn takes. Right after knight takes. I think it was knight takes F5, right? But the idea here is we got like queen F3, queen here. I think there's also, like, let's see king H8. I think there's check. Hold on. Puzzle rush. Okay, so we got to check him first for sure. King G8, but what's the follow-up? Interesting. Okay, what does the engine say? Oh, take, queen H5. Wow. I didn't even see that. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't see that. Oh, knight H6 is here. There's a rook lift. I mean, gotta be kidding me. There's winning everywhere. Everything's winning. Everything's winning. That's beautiful stuff. I knew knight F5 was gross, though. So bishop D8. Played quickly, too, by the way. How long was that? Ding took 1 minute. 1 minute, and then bishop D8 and got up out of there. Like, and he saw this coming a mile away. And this got very strange. Knight to G7 from Fabi. Bro, look at this knight. Bruh. My knight is on G7. What is this Finchetto knight? Finchetto knight. Like, what is this? Rook F8? And then H3. Yeah, this was a mandatory move, I think. Engine like queen D2. And then bring the knight back to F5 as well. But H3 makes total sense because knight G4 is going to take this bishop. I like this B3 option from Ding here. It just locks everything up. I thought this was sweet. And he gets rid of that bishop. He took with the bishop though. What if I would have taken with the pawn? Is that another thing? I mean, I want to take and give it back. Oh, but he can just do it again. Interesting. Interesting. Thanks for the follow. I'm a geek. I'm a geek. Well, you know what? Thank you for the follow. Bishop takes B3. Bishop takes, knight takes, pawn takes. And I mean, I was really liking this bishop. Knight looking kind of crazy on G7. Here we go. Bishop C6. Thanks for the follow, channel. Rook to c1 with rook c3 and chin-chins 2. I mean, I want to be able to defend this and move the queen at the same time. King h8, and the only way to bail out, and the idea here is rook g8. Rook g8, I'm going to trap the knight. The only way to get out of here and not lose a piece is what he did, knight e6. Takes and take on f8, but now Ding finds some resources like a boss. Bishop a5, hitting the rook. Hitting the rook. Bishop h6, we go back. Take. Now, I feel like I've seen Fabi play this a million times. This one I'm actually not sure as much, but I do know, I thought Fabi had some good chances here. I really did. Rook takes b3, queen a5, he hits a6, queen d8 is kind of annoying too. Knight to g8, hits the bishop. Bishop obviously has to move, so he goes back to e3. b2 is hanging, but a6 is hanging. And I think ours is a little better. Pass pawn. Really hoping for Fabi versus Magnus. Yeah, that definitely happened. Defy is definitely not happening. Bishop b7, and then queen d2, he backs up and defends. I remember watching a lot from here. This is where I started to pick up from this game a lot more. f6, f4 from Fabi. I was liking this. I mean, he got f4. Look at the opposite color bishops, right? I remember looking. We got opposite color bishops. My bishop has better prospects to attack the king than this one does. So, I mean, I was feeling great about this. Honestly, for Fabi, rook f1 at some point. Open the file. Like, look at the knight. I mean, comparison. Thought he was doing great, to be honest. Hey, so with this Ding win, when do you think Grasso will make a decision? Or I think he's already made a decision. He's already done. He's just playing around. He takes on f4 though, opens the game, and then bishop takes f4 and g5 from Ding Liren. Bishop e3, queen e5, which hits g3. And you see, look, I remember coming in and like, oh, Fabi gonna win, right? He puts the knight on f5. Watch this nasty tactic, right? After knight f5, there's rook takes b2, hitting the queen, but then you could play knight takes d6. Unbelievable. That's crazy. Crazy. You take my queen, I take yours. Very simple. I also defend the pawn. Your rook is hanging. Rook e2, I go knight to c4. Like, what a nuts line, right? What a nuts line. That's like crazy. Crazy calc there. COE though. Calculation over everything, right? That was a nasty line. So knight f5. Rook b2, you have knight d6. An obvious reason after queen takes is queen b2. So I thought that was pretty sweet. So Ding finds the best move being 2800 is knight f5. That was nasty. When does he announce the decision? I have no idea. COE as exactly Amazon. Let's get it. So 97. Knight takes, queen c2 hits the rook. Oh yeah, and rook b6. He didn't have to go back. He could have defended. Rook f1, and watch this, right? Like let's fast forward. Look at this position. I'm saying White's gonna win. I mean, he's doing great, but look at Fabi's time. He has 3 minutes to make right here. It's 2 moves here to time control. It's 3 minutes, but honestly, I mean, this is great. How do you lose this? You lose. Rook f8, maybe he is Ding Liren, 2800, but it's tough. Queen f2, bishop is much better than this one. I mean, it's just obvious who's pressing for more. Very obvious. h6, h4. Playing on both sides of the wing. Bishop c8, b4. Like, Fabi was playing this game. Fabi was playing a very good game here. Bishop d7, takes. This is beautiful. Rook to b1 was not that good, apparently. Queen f3, I don't know what that is. Yeah. You can't blame him for not finding that. Oh, rook b1 is third best on the engine. Third best. Pawn takes is a move to rook b1. Yeah, we want to do like rook here probably. Or rook b7. Bishop b5, stopping it. Takes, and then queen f5, which attacks queen g5 check. And then king g8. And this is where it got, I remember watching this. Me and Bach was looking at this. d4. He didn't take it. He went bishop d3. Because I mean, we're going to open up the game. My bishop's better than yours. But I think that's where it went haywire. Not even here, though. Bishop d3. Rook e1. Because obviously the rook's hanging. The rook's hanging. e4. Sorry, the rook's hanging here. Oh, my goodness. There we go. The rook's hanging. e4 is hanging at the same time. So this move makes total sense. Rook e1. C takes d4. We take back with the bishop. Easy move. Yeah, you got to work on an arrow game, right? Bishop takes d4. And then, oh, this move here, bro, was so good. I mean, man, Ding is such a great player. I think a lot of people underestimate him because he just won 3 in a row. Like, did y'all realize, like, nobody does that? Bruh. He just won 3 games in a row. in the candidates. Like, he's on fire right now. Jan hasn't even done that 3 in a row. I mean, yes, he's winning the candidates right now, but he hasn't won 3 games in a row. Bishop takes d4, and he finds this move here, queen h7, which is like, oh, that's such a good move. Because I wanted to push, I wanted to check, and then push. It was very annoying to deal with. So queen f3 hits the bishop. Oops. Where are we at? Right here. Let's go back. If Jan wins, then is that 3 in a row? That's a great question, actually. We can check right now. Jan, that would be no. He already drew in round 10. It's gonna be a no. Gonna be a no. Do you think Jan versus Carlsen 2.0 would be more exciting than the last one? Absolutely, because Jan would be more prepared. It's just like he should be. He's expected to be more prepared because this is not his first World Championship match, right? Think about that. His second one, how more comfortable are you doing something you've done already? You know, so there's he's gonna be more comfortable. He did it again. He's gonna be more comfortable, but not to say that he's gonna win, right? But he's gonna be more comfortable, which does help with the psych part of your game. Bishop d3, Ricky 1, c takes, queen h7, right? Queen f3, bishop b5, and e5. Nice move. Open up the whole game. Queen to d7, and then bishop c5 hits the rook. Oh, yeah, going back here. I looked at here, but there was f5. Yeah, because this is a threat. So you have to deal with it. Bishop c5. Rook c8, hit it again. And, oh, this is where he went kind of haywire here. This is where it happened. But he doesn't have time, and he likes to calculate. But he didn't have that much time. But he really went kind of haywire here. Like, he just went off the rails. He checked first. Then he played e6 and didn't care about nothing. e6, and then he played e7, which looks like logical. Like, any blitz game or bullet game, you're going to play this automatically. Like, you're going to check e6, e7. And then move the bishop, which he did everything. It feels like he did everything correct. Thanks for the follow, Aaron, and balled it out. Bishop e3 was a blunder, apparently. I mean, not blunder. I mean, it's not accurate. Queen d5. It is a central move. But look at his time. He got 5 minutes to make 4 or 5 moves here before he can get the extra 15 minutes at 60 moves and a 30-second increment. Bishop e3, queen g3, which is brilliant, hitting the rook. Also, we're about to bring bishop c6 back for mate. Queen to b4 defends the rook. Rook h8. Now it looked like Ding is who's winning? What is this? Like, this is getting very, very strange now. And he plays e8 queen, which I guess only move here, right? Yeah, because this is, well, there's not mate yet. So let's say I go, oh, I can't move anything here. Oh yes, mating. Psh. You were literally, you couldn't do anything. This was the only move. He had the queen. Check first from Ding. And then takes. Now, still a chance to bail out right now if bishop g5. Due to a nice perpetual after rook takes. Right, queen takes. Oh, wow. Engine does not, look at this, right? I'm about to say, like, engine's recalibrating. This is a draw, right? We looked at this. Check. King h6. No matter where, though, you're just going to check him into oblivion as your goal. Checking. All right, actually taking here first. Well, king first here, maybe check. Queen f6. King here, check. Wait, that boy went all the way. Yeah, don't fall into that. King h7, check. And you get checked out. Smokey, what's up? He didn't play this, though. He played queen g4, which, eval bar again, tripping. But he got 15 minutes here. So he did get his 15 minutes with 30-second increment as well. After move 60. Queen to d4, going for a queen trade here. The wrong kind checked out, exactly. Queen f5, check, king g1, king g6. And it's a grind, right? It's still equalish. But look who's up a pawn, right? Ding's up a pawn. So he's like, all right, I'll play it out. Yeah, I'll play it out. All right, I'm up a pawn. And we have opposite colored bishops, which this one is better than his counterpart. But before, it was the other way around. Bishop f2, queen g4, threatening queen g2. Queen d3 check. He had to trade the queens off. And look at this, right? This should be drawn, but you got the extra. Okay, I'll play on, right? f5, bishop c7. And then he gets the king around. And this is where he started playing almost instantly. Ding was playing very quick moves. He played f5 quick. This was a quick move. That was a quick move. That was not quick. that was not that quick, I think. Oh, this actually was based off the time. Rook e7, he did play this quickly. Maybe we just bounced around to other games. But rook e7 and rook to c3 was a blunder after bishop d3, which was not found immediately. But after rook d7 and then g3, bishop to d3 was played, right? Bishop b8. Now, we could play f4 at the right moment, but obviously you got to watch out for like Lucina and Philidor type position things. So very patient, very patient. Remember, reserve tempi, right? We looked at that before. Talked about that before. Reserve tempi. Bishop e5, and we're going to play rook e7 and try to check him on e2. So after bishop to c7, this was literally the blunder that he needed right here. Bruh. This is game over. This is game over. And well, he found this instantly too. Rook e7. Fabi went into the think tank. If you could see his face, he literally was like, you could tell he knew that this was over. This is over. Rook e2, I can come around this way too afterwards. Bishop d8 check. Rook d2. Bishop e7. I mean, this was very accurate. Mate in 31. Well, he found the first move. Bishop d3. Mate in 31, and he didn't have to do the mate in 30 that the engine says that it is right now, because Fabi resigned here. After bishop d3, king takes g3. Man, it's just rough. Yes, it's mate 30. See that right there? He found the first move though, LJ. He mate in 31. He found move number 1 of mate in 31. So he probably would have found it. Mate in 31. Crazy. Oh man. Okay, so what games did we look at? We looked at Naka's draw. We looked at Rajabov, Fabi, and oh man, this game right here. Wow. This game right here. Bruh. First things first, we got to talk about what happened before this, right? So word on the street is, and shout out to Daniel Naroditsky, Big Danya. Word on the street is that Ali Reza Firouzja played 250 bullet or hyper bullet. I don't know what it is. Hyper bullet or bullet. 250, and I think because it was 250 games, it probably was hyper bullet. So, because 250 bullet games is a lot. 250 hyper bullet games, that's still a lot, but right. So it was hyper bullet. So check this out, chat. Right, 250 hyper bullet games hours before you play Jan Nepomniachtchi. What, bro? Wow. I mean, at this point, right, exactly. He just doesn't care anymore. And I guess he realized, look, my chances are not there. So he just played until 5 a.m. with Daniel Naroditsky and some hyper bullet. In fact, they even said that he was at the board yawning, like yawning. Bruh. Come on now, he tired. Why did you do this? Right? Out of all people to play yawn after that too. Farouz is just like me for real. 100 biddies, thanks, bro. I mean, that's crazy. So that's the storyline of this game, right? And wild. Never would have thought that I would see that, right? So let's see the game. Right? So e4, e5, knight of 3, knight f6. We go the Petrov route, which has been serving Jan well this tournament too as well. c4. So this is automatically already a weird one. I think in post-game analysis in the interview, Nepomniachtchi was actually talking about a line where he used to actually play this as white, and he had a very nice game that he won with the white pieces, but so he's familiar with it. Play bullet, exactly, Quinn. All right, I can't. All right, Ali's like, I can't mathematically win, so let's play some bullet and blow off some steam, right? So knight to c6 and d4, or sorry, d3 first. You get the tempo. You see this in like Scotch Gambit too. The f3, f4, d3, d4. Bishop e7 and d5, and then where do you go? 95, right? Yep. Honestly, guys, everything started normal. Everything was normal. Okay, f3 was not that normal, but it's not bad. Like, whatever. Okay, and he goes back. It was sort of normal here. c6, we isolate a pawn. Okay, cool. Honestly, I'm already favoring black. Tumi fan, thanks for the follow. Because queen b6, queen a5, I got the open c file, right? It almost looks like I played the Sicilian. Some type of night orb, in fact, where I got the d6 pawn, I got e5 off, and I got the c file. What it feels like. That is exactly what it feels like. What's up, Motivated Mark? It's good. Never play f3. What's up, LJR? I'll see you in a minute. Yeah, so like Feingold says, never play f3, right? But c takes d5. Black plays queen to b6, which hits the knight and puts pressure on b2. And then I remember looking at this from white's point of view, and I was like, wait a second. I've been here before, but like, okay, I need to do something about this right now, which he plays king h1. Brilliant move. And I say brilliant because I want to play like rook b1 next. Maybe b4, a4. Stuff like that. Because I want to develop this bishop too, but I can't. b2 is hanging. So I want to play rook b1 and then develop the bishop. But rook a to c8 is a big dog move. Because if you go rook b1, well, you're done. Rook takes c3, right? And that's a wrap. You immediately lose material. So I thought that that was brilliant. It deterred the whole idea. I was like, oh, snap. Like, well, we got to deal with that. Right. And then here's what happened, right? Ali Reza thinks, and he thinks, and he thinks, and he probably falling asleep at the board. And then he does this right here. Bruh. Or G4. I mean, wow. You know, I think we was talking about this commentary. The bullet chess was rubbing off in the classical game. And that is not a place you want to be. Bullet chess was rubbing off in the classical game here. The 250 hyper bullet games. He plays G4 against Jan Nepomniachtchi. You don't have to take these type of risks at all. But G4 is played. Going for a kingside attack. Well, your pieces aren't even kingside attack ready. It's criteria. It's criteria to that. G4 is not the right idea. Patent Thinker and Ahmad, thanks for the follow. G4 is just never the right idea here. You don't have the right... If everything was developed, then okay, G4 is definitely a possibility. If like the bishop was on E3, if the queen was on D2, if this bishop was like on C2, well, the G4 would be justified. I could play queen G2, queen H3, right? G5, F4, I'm able to go for mate and be confident. But here, all my pieces on the back rank still. Not good. H6 and then H4, like, bro, he just doesn't care. H4 literally doesn't care anymore. H4 with G5 intentions, rook F8, G5. This was a quick game. Watch this. Takes. Knight. And now, actually, this was super cool. There was a knight G6 you could play right now. That's too wild, though. Too wild. Knight H5 from Jan. Very simple. Knight G3. King G2. He goes Knight G6. I mean, look at the eval bar go crazy here. This Knight F4 is going to be nasty. F4 played. Knight takes F4. Bishop takes. Oh, sorry. Let's go back. This is a huge move. Knight F4. Remember looking at this and was like, first off, Bishop H5 is the knight's hanging. The knight's hanging. But he saw all of this. This is why he went for this line. He's going to sack one knight. After bishop takes, then we take the pawn. So now we get two pawns for the piece. C3 is hanging. E2 has some problems after bishop takes G5. And what a calculate. Jan really calculates. Like, calculation over everything for real. Like, Jan really be calculating. So knight to E4. Nice move. Blocking everything. Just when you think everything was over. Rook C4 was actually move number 2 on the engine. Number 1 was bishop D8. This is wild. I remember looking at this with Bach. We looked at bishop D8 and knight takes D6. And then we was rook takes E2. Knight takes E2. We couldn't figure out what to do here. Like rook C2. And then I saw rook F2. But apparently knight F4. Okay, here. Then king F3. Knight H4. King G1. Sheesh, yeah. That's wild. And Jan didn't play this. Jan went the rook C4 route. Which is just everything's... Look at 3 pieces here. Like, what kind of luck do you have when you get all of this on the same file like this? Bishop to E3. Defending the D4 knight. That was the most crucial. Boom. Bishop takes G5. That is a shot in the dark there. Very nice. That's a sweet move. He doesn't take it. If bishop takes G5, that's the whole house. Whole house is gone. Rook takes D4. Oh, it says rook takes E4. Engine likes E4. Wow, this was just... And then rook B1. Psh, man. Look at that. In between moves. Just in Zug. Interesting. Chess is such a hard game. Wow, that's a crazy line. So, in fact, after rook B1, you take on A2. This is all game. You play rook A1. There's a queen sack line, which he kind of goes for. But we're getting the queen back. I get the queen. You get the queen. I get the queen, right? Easy. Bishop takes D1. Bishop takes E3. Knight D6. And rook E7, which defends F7. I think Fruits was getting time trouble here, right? 16 minutes. Yeah, he was getting time trouble, and they weren't even on move 40 yet. Long way from move 40. But the dust settled. I remember looking at this and thinking, like, yo, Fallujah kind of got out of this. Like, but no, this was all right. This was all right. Bishop B3 puts this boy at -7. Bruh. Beautiful. I like the precision here. Let's look at it from from Nepo's point of view. Play bishop c5, which makes sense because it attacks the knight. And it's very hard sometimes to make moves like this, where you allow your opponent to attack you just to move the bishop to a better square. That was sweet there. Bishop b6, knight's almost trapped too. Bishop c4, I think he went here. No, he went rook e3. Bishop h3 is the next move. Oh, they planned it out, sorry. Bishop h3 is the next move, so that's why king h1 makes total sense. Bishop h3 hits the rook, rook c1. Oh, I remember this. Bishop f5, which is bishop e4 check. There was a mate too. There's like mating threats. Rook h3 is coming. Knight h4. This is just game over. Bishop f1, bishop e4 check, and Alireza loses. In fact, he resigns here. He has a minute 59 on the clock. But this is a commanding victory from Jan once again, bro. Instructive breakdown. Thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But this is just amazing how Jan's playing. And right now, currently, after all the games, Jan is in first place. Big Dog would because a Big Dog could. Look at him. 8 piece with 3 rounds to go. 3 rounds to go. So that's pretty fire. Next round is when? It is today, right? Yes, today. Round 12 right here at 9 Eastern time. That's where I am. 9 Eastern time in Michigan. 9 a.m. guys, so make sure y'all there and watching these the last games. Rest day is coming on July 2nd, and then the rest, and we're gonna see who going to face Magnus. All right guys, hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube. See you on the next one.